Ghost is not a book about ghosts. If you ever heard of the Track series, you'll know that it's a books. These 4 series of books are all about track for kids who are considered newbies, or what lots of people at my place, and like my people call noobs, because newbies are basically stupid people. They always have those kind of prejudices. I never really liked those prejudices. But this book really talks about running, of course, life, of how some people come to be, and why people do all that, and why people are like this at all. I'm sure Ghost is a person. His real name is Castle Crenshaw. Reminds you of that book Crenshaw, to be honest. And it's all that he's ever known. Turns out running is all that he's ever known. Just not for track teams. Turns out he's known running because of his dad. His dad is in jail for a decade for trying to shoot him and his mom with a gun. And according to what I read in the story is that one day his mom decided to fight back while his dad was a little drunk. At least that's as I know it. And his dad was definitely mad, of course. I wasn't sure if he's drunk, but he's definitely mad. And then this happened. His mom decided to fight back, and then they ran, and then his dad was like, let me do this. And then bang, he shot a gun, and Ghost was scared. And they went to the convenience store, and those guys let him. And Ghost, or should I say Castle, felt like the guy was looking at ghosts. So that's what he decided to call himself, Ghost. Also, he didn't tell anyone else about it, even his mom, so he just started this tradition up with someone else. And then suddenly this happens. He doesn't really like track at all. He's more of a basketball guy. I guess we'll find out something else somewhat similar to that in a later episode. It also seems that he does like playing ball. It's just he's also a pretty good runner. He's fast. And he decides to challenge a guy face to face and wins. It also turns out that guy was one of the fastest people on the track team, which tryouts have happened a week earlier, so that he was kind of unfair, but he finally managed to get into the team. And for good reason, too. I'm guessing that because he won, the Olympic medalist track coach sees he has done something, so he has a crazy natural talent. And turns out, in the book, Ghost tries to outrun his past. And he loves running. He sure is fast, I'll have to say that. Also not as fast as Usain Bolt, who ran, like, a distance in less than 9.5 seconds. Which is a long time. No, not a long time. If you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, if you think about it, it's a pretty long time. But then once you actually run it, trying to run the distance, you realize it's a little too short. The best he's got was 14 seconds, which wasn't close at all. And the second best he's got was 35 seconds. Well, Ghost decides that he wants to run for his life, and he decides to run for a track team because he's pretty good at it, and he's pretty much trying to quit the team too. But then he realizes teammates and teamwork and everything that seems to happen, and Ghost decided to harness his raw talent for speed. Also, he has a pretty bad time building with the team. Turns out, like me, he has a pretty big bad temper. And because of that pretty big bad temper, he is, having a very, very hard time adjusting to life in these places. Because if there's one thing I know for certain, it's that, trying to control your big bad demon boy temper is a very hard thing to deal with. Especially people are nagging you all the time. And you know what I mean. All the adults say, hey, you should have done the responsible thing and told an adult. And why can't you? Why didn't you? Wait, so who cares? He's gonna punch. So what? Then he'll punch you more. Then tell the adults again. Well, I tried that. They punched me more. I did them, I toddled them. They punched me more. And seriously though, it never worked out. So that's pretty much the whole thing. I'm thinking that all these bullies should be suspended, but the teachers don't even think they're bullies. One time, a bully was talking to me and saying mean things to me, and then I went to the teacher and talked about it, and then the bully literally lied flatly, saying, "Oh, I was just asking about his career and stuff, something about that," and the teacher believed it. for 10 seconds until I told her what she actually said, which was actually pretty good at saving for her. The bad fact was that the teacher who was all in charge of the class at the time said, "No moving seats, you chose those seats." I didn't have a choice, to be honest. That was pretty unfair. And I can totally relate to this guy, other than the fact that he looks like this. That kind of actually makes sense about the black line, too. It's that all these characters are from different backgrounds. That's all I can say. And all of these characters from different backgrounds are and will be able to do loads of things. Sure, they go for the same potential. One guy would with sunflower seeds, and the other guy, well, from what I've read, as far as I assume, is saying like a dancer. The other guy, turns out, is more of a leader! And I pretty much want to be a leader one day, but then, people are just gonna make fun of that. So I'm not gonna mention more about it. But the thing I'm trying to say here is that no one can run from your past. Your past can catch up to you. Sure, you always have to look back. Because someday you have to. You're forced to. Unless you're living alone as a hobo, of course. And then suddenly finding out that the past was a lie! And that happened. Running is a passion. I actually like running. I went to the track team, and then turns out they misplaced they said the date and time, and then when I went there, turns out I was an hour late, and the whole session was an hour, so I missed the tryouts, and that was terrible, and I had no idea what to do, and so I never ran onto the track team. I was a pretty good runner though. I was once fastest in the class until another girl just came in and barged right past me. It turns out I always chose the shortest lane. She chose the shortest lane. I chose the second shortest lane, and well, I still lost. And my thoughts on this is that Ghost has a pretty big personality too. He likes sunflower seeds, like how I like eating. Also, he doesn't really like eating that much, to be honest. I don't really like Chinese food, but he just goes ahead and eats Peking duck. And I feel like, okay, if I'm forced to go to a Chinese restaurant, I'll just go and order up some Peking duck. I mean, I've been to Chinese restaurants several times, and they weren't that terrible bad, but the last time I went to one was like 2 years ago, so I don't really remember all that shrimp rides anymore. But one thing I'm certain of is that you can't run from your past. I have to look back at my past every day because pretty much that's all I'm reminded of. All those books, all these books, all these books, these books I just found I still had and I didn't throw them away, which made me reconsider past. Kind of got me kind of think of it too. Also, these science books over there, well, those kind of got me thinking about the world, and it made me think of it in a different way. It's been complicating my life, and I never really wanted to read it again, but then I want my life to be complicated, and I want my eyes to be seen in a different way. And also, I still want to get a kick out of it too. And that's pretty much what Ghost is. A book about a kid named Ghost, real name Castle, goes ahead into a track team without intentionally being the rookie, and decides that he will be a teammate and at least try not to outrun his past anymore. And for me, I do that all day. Do not run from my past. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I hope to see you guys soon. And I hope to see you guys again in my next episode. I'll see you guys soon. Right now, peace.